Good morning, math scholars. Mrs. Hart coming at you with our last section in chapter 4. That's a reason for a party. So we have our test coming up. Hopefully you can come to a study party. Make sure you hit like and not dislike, and you comment and subscribe and hit that bell for the notifications. And who's excited for the last lesson in the chapter? Woo! So everything we're doing today is in the calculator, but I had a student say, why do we need to take notes then? Well, how are you going to know the steps if you don't write them down? So I have a little bit of a song for you. Actually, it's not a song. It's just a chant. Stat, edit, stat, calculate. And that's it. Stat, edit, stat, calculate. Those are the keystrokes you will be using to put data points in your calculator. And I'll teach you how we can have the calculator draw a scatter plot for you, and how we can have the calculator draw a line that fits the data. Okay? The first type of line we'll be using to fit to our data is this line. Do you remember the name of lines like this? They look like this. We did them with our arms.
A parabola.
No, this is a parabola. This is something we actually did in this chapter. Exponential growth. So the first few we'll be seeing today are exponential growth curves. All right, here's our first set of data. So you're going to hit, well, first of all, let me arrange it in a table form. We want to write an exponential function in the form y equals a times b to the x, whose graph passes through 112, so I'm going to put that in a chart, and 3108, and I'm going to put that in a chart. So it's our job to go into the calculator and get that data into a chart. So it's called Stat World right here. Let me move my calculator out of the way. Alright, so the stat button is located right here where my arrow is. Bam. So we'll hit stat. And then you want to hit edit. So you can either hit number 1 right now or you can hit enter. And it'll take you into something that looks like a spreadsheet with columns. We're only going to be using the first 2 columns because we only really have x values and y values. I have old stuff from my previous class, but I can type right over top of them. So 1 and 3 go in that first column. And 12 and 108 go in that second column. Just let it be called L1 and let it be called L2. L1 needs to be 1 and 3. L2 needs to be 12 and 108. I'm going to pause our video. Alright, everybody has given me the thumbs up that their values are in their calculator. So far, we have done stat, edit, we've put our values in. Now, we're going to do stat, calculate. So go ahead and hit stat again. This time, right arrow over to the calculate menu. And we're going to look down this list of things the calculator can do. They can fit a straight line to our data. They can fit a parabola, which is called a quadratic regression line to our data. They can fit a cubic to our data, which is a snake. These are all things we've learned about. But the one we are concerned about today is the exponential regression line, which is choice 0. So you could just hit 0 and click enter. Now this is just where they confirm. Do you want them to find the line from the L1 and the L2 data? We sure do. So we hit enter and we go all the way down to where it says calculate. And then we select enter and it will calculate for us. So the only thing we have to do from there is look at a few things. The A is the starting amount. We're going to plot that in for A. And the B is the growth factor. We're going to plot that in for B. So y equals 4 times 3 to the x is your answer. Now some of you might be seeing r squared in r. That just tells you how good the line fits. Since this is a 1, it means it's a 100% fit. How many of you are seeing the r squared in the r? And how many are not? Okay, I will show you guys how to turn your diagnostics on so everybody can see the r. It's not super important, but it's kind of cool to see how good your line is fitting your data. Spencer?
I typed in
Okay, so here is what you're going to do if your r squareds and your r's are not showing up. So if they are showing up, take a power nap. If they're not showing up, you're going to go into the catalog with me. It might be a place you've never been. You do second 0, which gives you the catalog of all the things the calculator can do. And it's an alphabetical list. So rather than scroll down through the alphabetical list, you can just type in the letter that you want to go to. And we want to go to the D's. So we're going to find something called diagnostics on. So if you hit this number right here, this is the D button. It'll take you to the D's. And then you can just scroll down until you find diagnostic on. Diagnostic on. I select it. I click enter. It will say done. And then every example from here on out, I will be able to see the r squared value and the r value. So I'll pause and help people that couldn't find it. All right, we're back with another example. This is the problem we're going to do where I'm going to actually show you how to turn the scatter plot on and see a scatter plot of all these numbers. So everybody go in their calculator, and I'm going to show you how to clear the old data so that we can put in this new data. I'm going to move it over so you can see the data and you can see my calculator. So you go stat, edit, you have this old data you don't want anymore, right? If you go up top and hit clear, it looks like nothing happened, but when you go back down, the data will be gone. Same thing over here, go up top, hit clear, go back down, the data's gone. And now we're ready to put our new numbers in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I always double check every column that I don't have a mistake, because if you have one mistake, your equation will be different from your classmates. 12, 16, 25, 36, 50, 67, and 96. Just sit there with your thumb in the air like this when you're ready to rock, and I'll wait for a break. This just means all my data is in. Okay, so you can't really see the prompts because I had dragged it over, but they basically said, draw a scatter plot of the data pairs. Is this an exponential model? Do you think an exponential model would be a good fit? And then let's find the exponential model. So I want to show you something called stat plot. It's a scatter plot. So you hit second, stat plot, and all of yours are probably off right now. So if you click number 1, you have the option to move your highlighter over to on and click enter, and that'll turn your scatter plot on, and you can even change the color. My scatter plot can be blue. I had a girl make hers pink today. But once it's turned on, all you have to do is go into graph and maybe zoom out once or twice, and you'll be able to see the scatter plot. So this is what I see after I zoomed out one time. So you're in second, stat plot, when you turn it on. Okay, so here's where we're at. We did zoom out once. You can see your dots. Let's go ahead and find that actual equation of the line that fits. So stat, calculate, and do you remember what it was called? 0. And I can actually scroll up to get there quicker, or you can just click 0. But it's an exponential regression line, so you go ahead and hit enter down through, and you'll get it. So A is 8.46, B is 1.42, and this is what is interesting to me. It's a 99.8% fit. So that's a really good fit. So let me jot down that equation. Can you guys help me remember these numbers? Or just tell me? So it's y equals 8.46. Okay, and then what was B? 1.42. And then the exponent's an x. So that's your equation. All right, there's one more sample problem we need to get to before the end of the period, and it is power function regression lines instead of exponential function regression lines. And people are like, how will I know which one to use when? The instructions tell you on the homework. So the instructions on number 1 is find the exponential line. The instruction number 5 is find the power function regression line. Okay? Can you tell me when? Yeah. Good? All right, so last one. It says write a power function whose graph passes through 3, 2, and 6, 9. So if you need to make a chart to help you out, the 3 would go here, the 2 would go here, the 6 would go here, the 9 would go here. Let's get them into our stat world. What buttons do I push? Stat, edit, good memory. You go up top, hit clear, and the stuff will go away. Go up top, hit clear, go back down, the stuff goes away. Don't go up top and hit delete though, because then you'll delete your L1 and L2 and you'll have a bigger problem. People do it a lot. I go over and I'm like, where's your L2? Oh, I deleted it. So it's important to use clear, not delete. Just hold the questions till the end because we only have 6 minutes left and we'll get through it. I will come help you at the end, I promise. All right, once you're in, what's the steps? Stat, calculate. So stat, calculate. It's a different choice this time. The instructions said to use a power function. So instead of an exponential function, choice 0, it's power function, choice A. They're right beside each other. They're next door neighbors because they're so similar. Enter, 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 enter. Do it. So this time the equation is just in a little bit different format. Instead of a times b to the x, it's a times x to the b. But that's okay. Let's write this out. Can you guys help me remember what a and b is? So what's a? 0.18. What's b?
It's not.
What is it?
Oh, wait, no, it's 2.1.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you. She's good at rounding. All right, I'm gonna pause the video and help people that got lost on this one, and then I need a volunteer to help pass off the workout, okay?